Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, November 4th. It's election day. I found out, was reminded about that by Rich Fontaine, my good friend and counterpart in some ways. Very funny comedian based out of Dallas. Give him a follow if you can. Today, I'd like to watch a little clip from one of my favorite movies, Training Day. And I think we can find some parallels and we can discuss them in a little bit. But let's watch a little clip here and then we can talk.
Down on the floor, get down! What are you clowns doing? Hey, you guys, watch me! You move cat's ass!
Yeah, I'm on. You know what you're doing, son.
Drop what's in your hands before 0. 5, 4, 3, 2. Move!
Give me a reason. One's just gonna have y'all's ass.
What's up, Roger?
What's going down, brother?
It's all good, baby. It's all good. That's for you.
What am I supposed to do to this? Wipe my ass?
Bad news, dog. You don't mind if I have some of your $300 glass shit there, please.
Remember, this is the actor that played Malcolm X.
I had lunch with the wise men today. They said you got to render under Caesar.
Fucking vampires want my pension.
Nah, it's nothing like that. They just want to tax you a little bit. You know, they got their boats and mistresses and, house payments. Nothing I can do about it, They're making me do it. I'm just a lowly... Sir.
You're the bitch. What happens to me?
I got your back, bro. I promise you never have to go back to prison. You ain't gonna miss what we take.
Sorry, orders is orders, dog.
Oh, you ain't a cop. Tim, Jeff, Jake, we're gonna work in the kitchen. Grab the tools, give the bitch. You guys hold them down.
Okay. Rather than bore you with extended movie screening, as you can see, there's already some external interference, but we can get the point from here. We see a situation here where there's multiple parties at play. We have a new guy, we have an experienced detective, and then we have cronies, and then we have the so-called criminal. So notice the criminal is already armed, even though he's reading the paper, which means he's always on guard for this kind of thing to happen. So we live in a world where power is kind of distributed equally amongst people that, transgress. And so they're always looking over their shoulder. And so when we have great ambitions, it's really important to realize the end game of those ambitions. So a lot of times people in the quest for a shortcut will make compromises that follow them. And then they have to continue to build upon that storyline in order for their charade to continue. And before you know it, you're 50, 60, 70 years old with 30, 40, 50 years of compromises. It's a web of deceit. And that is a thief of your peace of mind, okay? So that's why it's very important for us to clear out the old and to make way for the new. Now, we can't really do this in our political system, certainly not anymore, because we've essentially been acquired as a country. So have you heard anything about the AIPAC organization or any of these pro-Israel groups? We're essentially a purchased country. And even in our local government, as much as I love the city of Chicago, Chicago is known for its citywide corruption. And this is not a slight against the mayor or the mayor's office or anything like that. I hope you guys are doing the best you can. All I am is a broke civilian trying to make ends meet with a small LLC that is, managed by a string of dental floss. Okay, So I'm not saying this out of any like arrogance or anything like that. But we see here that the chickens always come home to roost. And it's funny that we're using that phrase because, you know, Denzel plays the villain in this. But everyone is a villain in this scene. Even the hero, Jake, which has now become a nickname for police, even though he has a very sympathetic character, he is going along for this ride because earlier in the movie, Denzel promised him, if you give me 18 months, I will get you a promotion. Okay? So how can you guarantee a promotion in an organization like the LAPD at that rate of speed? Okay? Unless it's previously written into the contract. You know, I was a civil engineering major. I did not want to be there. I passed barely just to make my parents happy. I recognized pretty early that was not the field for me. But when I got into positions, it was very structured, even in the municipal language, there's very structured ways of promotion that are all given to you at the beginning. So if my boss came to me and say, hey, if you do this for me, in 6 months I can bypass that promotion, I'd look at that kind of with a side eye, okay? And I think that kind of skepticism is healthy. Remember what we said, always look a gift horse in the mouth. We never want to take anybody's promises at face value, okay? I've been guilty of trusting people at their word, and we all like to say, no, I wouldn't move that way, I wouldn't move that way. We would if put under enough pressure. We would steal if we were hungry enough. We would kill if we were in danger enough. We would sleep with another man's wife if drunk enough, or if we were, aroused enough. So we're not any better than anybody else. So this is not a judgment thing or anything like that. But we always want to remember that there are no good guys. Okay? In Hollywood, in politics, in professional sports, I am basically in love with track and field. I replaced the love of a woman with the love of my craft, which is sprinting. And I felt like I mentally understood the technical aspects of it at an early age. But my body had quite a few obstacles and hurdles to overcome. And that was the initial inspiration for Texas Movement Consulting. And so that gradually evolved into the larger company that we're trying to scale today. But it started as just, my personal need to overcome a certain problem. And the reason I chose that problem was because the track pays you what you've worked for. Okay, there's one set of rules that the track follows, and that's governed by the laws of nature and physics. So once you master physics, once you master vectors and force application, and you understand tensegrity as a system, both intuitively and kinesthetically, then your work and your effort determines your payoff, which is the time that you run, which is how well you do in competition. So that was an anchor of truth for me that meant more to me than any salary. And that doesn't make me righteous by any means. I tried to be, somewhat respectful of it as an offering, because I wanted something that I had to be pure. And because I, navigated relationships with women and none of them felt pure. Even when I was, deeply infatuated with individuals, it just wasn't there was a big void there, and I recognized it immediately. So, point number one: find that pure love that the Creator guides you toward. Something that you can put your purest energy into. Don't call it a hobby, and don't put buzzwords on it. Okay. Find something that you could get up in the morning and do all day for free. And if it's possible, this is the Japanese concept of ikigai. If it's possible to get paid from it, go for it. Especially if it's something that uplifts other people or helps other people. But you do need your necessary food and your lodging and your safety, all the basic hierarchy of needs. So that's what we need money for, okay? But now we're in an age where our country, as many others are, controlled by central banking. Okay, this is why Gaddafi was killed. Remember? So we're in an age where they print money. So anytime we think that we've attained enough, they just inflate the currency more so that we keep chasing that. And so that's when we have to start thinking about larger issues. So when you are going to the polls today, I have never voted, okay? I was going to the Illinois Institute of Technology in 2008 when Barack Obama was running for president, and he was very, very popular on campus. And everybody went to Grant Park to listen to his inauguration speech. If there's any indication, remember the Jamie Foxx impression? So, as happy as I was for the African American community at the time, I did not agree with the man's policy. But I did appreciate the fact that there was representation of a black first family that was dignified and educated, and I respected what they stood for in that sense. But that's another lesson. Just because we agree with something partially, that doesn't mean we have to submit to it completely. Okay? So just because we have Jews controlling all of music culture, including Christian music, D1, stop it. Stop what you're doing. It's clout chasing and it makes us all look bad. I don't like singling out the Jewish community because, the Old Testament's nice and it gives us some good things, but a tree is judged by its fruit, okay? Who did Jesus have problems with? The Pharisees. Who did Paul have the most persecution from? The Jews. Who did Germany have the most issues from in the early 1930s? The Jewish community that was pushing the same transgender ideology and nasty type of books to children that they're promoting in our libraries now. Okay? Think about the suicide rate of people that transition in transgender surgeries. Okay? This is well-documented stuff. And I don't care what you do after the age of 18. When you're an adult, do whatever you want to do. But when you take our children and poison them with this knowledge between the ages of 0 to 7, which is the most formative time in a child's life, I have an obligation to say something, okay? And this is as waspy and Christian as I'm willing to be. I don't like preaching. I prefer action, okay? In that way, I believe Marshawn Lynch is equal to Socrates. And, kinesthetic intelligence is a very honest expression of language, which is why, even though, athletes have their, social faux pas from time to time, when you see them on the field, you see a certain element of truth. Even if the games are staged, even if there's chips in the footballs, even if there's, magnets being used by the rims or, computer aided shot selection, based off of prize picks or gambling. You're rigging this entire game and mocking us. Okay, but we still live here. We still live here and we still have the First Amendment. So, these are things that I needed to get off my chest. I did not want to invoke the Lord's name as a part of this. These are personal opinions. So this is a direct opinion of the current leading steward of Texas Movement Media. Okay? So that's how I'm going to bookend it and preface it. Be safe today when you make your decisions. Think of Election Day as a day where you choose the leaders of your own philosophy. Who are you going to listen to and follow? Maybe it's not an elected official. Maybe it's a streamer that you respect a lot, okay? If you like DDG or Kai Cenat or any of these young kids, I really shouldn't have said any names because, we want to leave room for everybody to have access to a leadership role. But if you're a young streamer between the ages of, let's say, 15 to 25, you're in charge now, okay? I'm here to kind of translate the old head language to you, and if you have any questions about that, just have it present somewhere on your social media feed. Ask it on one of your streams. Clip it up, put it on X or anywhere you want. I'll find it, okay? So my job is to just be an uncle for you. But remember this, okay? Denzel wasn't the hero. Neither was Ethan Hawke. And remember, just like Goldie and the Mac, or Michael Jai White and Black Dynamite, there's always somebody standing behind the main character, manipulating the public, the puppet strings. Okay, so don't let that be you. Pay attention to everything you're watching. Remember, AI can now manipulate video, and so Jay-Z had a line: "Believe none of what you hear, and even only half of what you see, even if it's said by me." Okay? So I encourage you to only believe half of what you see and hear from me. Trust your own conscience and trust your own mind and develop it so that you can have some discernment as you grow, because the future belongs to you. Okay? I've had my teens and 20s, and I invested it the best way I knew how with the resources I had at the time. And I'm suffering the consequences, okay, for both the truth and the failures. So be mindful of that. Do the most courageous thing that you're able to do with your level of talent and make up for your deficiencies by helping those around you that have strengths in your areas of weakness. That's what worked for me, okay? You notice that a lot of my compatriots and colleagues are from the African American community, because the Indian community and the African American community have a lot of parallels and a lot of complementary strengths. So if we learn how to work together, we can really do some wonderful things together. And once you give the respect to the Spanish-speaking community by learning a little bit of Spanish, there's plenty of opportunities for enlightenment there as well. So I look forward to those opportunities as well. So as you go forth today, be strong in your mind. Okay, I know things are tough, but remember, you always have support from Texas Movement International, Texas Movement Media specifically. And if you have any further questions, you can find us if you really want to. All right? Have a wonderful day. Be blessed.